Here is a faithful, natural English translation of the text, keeping all meaning, without adding or skipping anything, and avoiding literal awkwardness. In this movie, basketball superstar Durant really has it rough. Shooting hurts if he's not injured, dribbling means tying himself up and falling over, and when he spins past defenders, he nearly sends the director to work in a factory. Durant looks completely innocent. He simply can't figure out how basketball in this episode ended up like this. After all, he used to be a major figure in the NBA, the Thunder's scoring ace, but now he's become a joke on the court. And the reason for all of this goes back to a game from a few days earlier. During a break in the game, the home team selected a spectator to come on court and shoot. If he made the shot, he could take home $20,000. The boy was lucky enough to be chosen. But compared to his luck, his skill was far behind. At the moment when all eyes were on him, the boy took the shot and knocked the mascot flat. With an apologetic look on his face, the boy fled the court. But right at the exit, he happened to run into Durant, who was about to enter the arena. Durant wanted to give him a signed basketball. At this moment, the boy, whose name was Brian, still hadn't noticed any changes in his body. It wasn't until the next day at school that Brian accidentally discovered his fingers had become unusually flexible, leaving the kid next to him staring in disbelief. That night, the two went to a night market and ran into the school bully who often picked on him. Trying to impress the school beauty beside him, the bully wanted to show off his basketball skills. Unfortunately, he couldn't make a single shot. This triggered laughter from Brian and his friend. Enraged and humiliated, the bully tossed the ball to Brian, wanting him to take a shot. But Brian casually threw it, and everyone found it unbelievable. Even Brian himself could hardly believe it. Because before this, although he liked playing basketball, basketball never liked him. Sometimes it wasn't him playing basketball, it was basketball playing him. The bully thought it was just luck and told him to make another shot if he really had the ability. The result was another slap in the face. Brian shot again, another basket. Still unwilling to accept it, the bully made him shoot again, another score. There was no trickery at all. The bully could only leave in a rage. Brian finally held his head high and vented years of frustration, and at the same time won the attention of the school beauty. From that day on, it was as if he had hacks turned on. Between the legs dribbling came effortlessly. Two-step layups flowed smoothly. As for long-range shots, those were nothing to him. Ever since obtaining Durant's talent, Brian became almost godlike. Completely immersed in it, he could even use a trampoline to jump and send himself straight into the hoop. And now, with his small 1.7-meter frame, dunking looked effortless for him. He ran to the court, found the coach, and said that he could play basketball now, asking to be promoted to a regular player. But the coach didn't take him seriously at all, because Brian was usually just the towel boy, not even a substitute. Who would have thought that once Brian took a shot, the ball went straight in? The players were stunned. When the opposing team attacked, Brian immediately stole the ball, drove past defenders, and shot, everything done in one smooth sequence. It was as if the coach had discovered a new continent and decided to step onto the court himself. Brian wasn't nervous at all. He continued dribbling skillfully, then finished with a beautiful power dunk that shocked the entire arena. The coach immediately agreed to Brian's request. Not long after, the school team's tournament arrived. Brian, without any surprise, became famous in a single battle on the court. From then on, he led the team forward, unstoppable, rising as a dark horse and becoming the center of attention on the basketball court. But on the other side, Durant, having lost his talent, saw his skills plummet dramatically. No matter how hard he practiced, there was no improvement at all. The former legend became a joke, repeatedly disappointing fans, and even opponents spoke bluntly, "Durant is finished." The agent was anxious and restless. While absent-mindedly flipping through channels, he saw a report about Brian, the boy who had knocked over the mascot a few days earlier, who had suddenly gained extraordinary basketball talent. By analyzing Brian's playing posture and comparing it with Durant's past footage, the agent suspected that Durant's talent had been stolen by Brian. To confirm his suspicion, he went to Brian's game in person. After watching Brian's entire performance, it was practically identical to Durant's. So he sought out Brian, wanting him to return the talent to Durant. But Brian didn't believe a word he said. He righteously declared that all the basketball talent in his life had been earned through hard work. Yet the agent's words left Brian deep in thought. He pondered all night long, and the next day, he finally decided to call the agent, wanting to return the talent he had gained in this lifetime. Once dominant on the court, Durant now couldn't even dribble the ball properly. The agent brought Brian to see Durant, hoping to return the basketball talent to him. However, Durant didn't believe it at all. He couldn't accept that something like talent could transfer to someone else. He thought he was just in poor form. The agent didn't want to waste words and directly had Brian demonstrate his skills. Brian used Durant's signature moves, and the ball went in effortlessly. But Durant remained unconvinced, believing Brian had simply learned these moves by watching him. With no other choice, Brian used Durant's ultimate move. This time, Durant was completely convinced. The movements were identical to his own. Then the question arose. How could the talent be transferred back? The agent had them both hold basketballs and recreate the original scene. But it didn't work at all. Then he had them stand on mats and try transferring it through friction, but still no result. Left with no options, the agent resorted to his final move, electric shocks. He tried nearly every method he could think of. It couldn't be said that there was even the slightest effect. There was absolutely none. Watching Durant leave in disappointment, Brian felt terrible as well. Because that very night was the final regular season game. If the Thunder lost, they would be completely out of playoff contention. As soon as the game began, the commentators expressed little confidence in the Thunder. After all, Durant's recent form had significantly weakened the team's overall strength. Meanwhile, after returning home, Brian rewatched the footage and finally noticed something. There had also been a moment when a basketball hit the mascot that day. Realizing this, he hurriedly rode his bike to Durant's game. The two recreated the scene once again, and it turned out the key really was the mascot. In the second half, Durant finally regained his form. Like the Thunder King himself, he went all out, launching a fierce comeback and successfully winning the game. As for Brian, having lost the basketball talent, he returned to the court without his former confidence. He didn't even dare to shoot after receiving the ball. He could only keep passing to his teammates, to the extreme point of selflessness. The fans were deeply disappointed. By halftime, the team was already trailing by 12 points. And at that moment, Durant arrived at the venue. The arrival of his idol restored Brian's confidence. He gathered his teammates together, urging them to unite and play as a team. From then on, he gradually controlled the rhythm of the game, steals, assists, one after another, and the score slowly closed in. With 10 seconds left, the school team was still down by 2 points. The ball was tipped straight into Brian's hands. He decisively took the shot, 3 points, nothing but net. That clutch basket secured the victory. Most of us are just like Brian in the movie. We don't have extraordinary talent. But like Durant, even after losing his talent, he continued to train relentlessly. And after returning the talent, Brian also achieved success through his own effort. So sometimes, hard work really is more important than talent.